want to ask you today, what if you just close your eyes, maybe go outside somewhere, close your eyes and feel into what next step would feel good for me? And just listen. I guarantee you that there have been a couple of steps that you've been thinking about. Which one keeps coming up, not necessarily with urgency, but the one that keeps coming up repetitively? I'll tell you, for me, that one is creating videos. Hence the reason I'm doing this, despite the fact that I don't really have a great place to do this, although this is working out fine for right now, right? I mean, you get to hear my dog in the background, get to hear the outdoor noises that I'm hearing. I'm a little congested, so sorry about that part, but it works. So what is your next step? And I'm going to do another video later on, what is your next dream? What would you like to change in your life between now and July? So I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next video, but right now, just can you be okay with the uncertainty as you take the next step forward? And can you commit to taking the next step forward, even if you're not 100% sure of where it's taking you? That's a big one, because really, we can, no matter what step we take, we can think it's leading us one direction. But life's not like that. Life has a funny way of leading us exactly the way we're meant to go. So that leads me to another thought, that what if you're like me and you took some steps forward and then got stuck and then wondered why those steps didn't seem to be the right ones and they didn't lead you where you were going? Well, number one, in my case, I didn't continue walking forward. I didn't continue taking steps. So that's one. And then two, steps in the direction I thought I was supposed to take steps. There's that. Two, no matter what, you're taking steps. You're going forward, even if you're stuck. Things are still happening. Life is still going on. And so, what has that story been? What has the story been while you've been stuck? What are the thoughts that have been circulating in your head? And once you think about those, like really reflect on the thoughts that have been circulating in your head. And start asking yourself some deep questions about, where do those thoughts come from? What is this time of stillness or stuckness, however perspective, it's all in your perspective. Are you stuck, or are you just in a moment of stillness? Don't get stuck in your stillness though. But what is this time of stillness trying to teach me? What is the lesson here? And I'll tell you, I know that a lot of my moments of stillness, and a lot of people that I have talked to as well, the times that they have felt stuck, or the grand pauses in their life where it's just been a long season of stillness, of lack of movement, lack of visibly seeing things moving forward. What we can't see, and if you're willing to do, I'm not going to say that, if you're willing to look within and allow this to be a lesson that you learn from, what is that lesson? What's happening on the inside? What is being resolved, dissolved? For me, there was a lot of inner feelings of unworthiness, some generations deep feelings of, or belief systems of, work, you have to struggle. Hard work is the only way you can get ahead. So when I was doing work that really lit me up and brought me joy, I felt like there was absolutely no way I could get ahead by doing that. And then the more I struggled, the less it actually worked. So what are the beliefs inside? What do you think is keeping you stuck, and what is the lesson it's here to teach you? And can you be okay with that? Can you be okay with the fact that life is full of uncertainty? Sometimes we take steps forward and they may seem like the wrong direction, but they're actually leading us to a place of pause where we can learn the lessons that we need to learn in order to truly get to the next level. And that was, I knew deep in my soul that our family needed a pause in order for anything to change. And that, ironically, we chose to go travel, which is actually a lot of forward movement during that year of pause. And so much was learned. So many things were revealed, not all of them great. And we learned. And we moved forward eventually. And then got stuck again. And learned some more. So many things in our life, in my life, flipped completely upside down. That's actually, I didn't realize it when I was naming NEO Strategic, that it was a new strategy. It was a new way of looking at things. Like when life gets flipped upside down, there's another way of looking at. He just took off chasing a squirrel. When life gets flipped upside down and you start seeing everything through new eyes, and you are just open to everything that God, the universe, has to give you and has to teach you, you can't help but start approaching life from a new strategy, or start looking for a new strategy on how to approach life. And that's essentially what I've been doing. And the new strategy I'll talk about in another video, but I really feel deep at my core that it's the things that are unseen, the things that live in the uncertainty realm of the world, that are the most important. And a strategy is just a fancy way, I'm quoting Alex Hormozy right now, a strategy is just a fancy way to say prioritization, a plan of how you're going to prioritize things. And so neo-strategic essentially is about flipping our priorities on their head. And this was something that, I started seeing back when I was teaching. I said that I valued family, and yet my family was getting the last of my energy, and really the worst side of me. Like, it was the most emotionally drained part of me. And I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't believe it's the way it's supposed to be. And I think that we're in a time right now where it's time for a new strategy. It's time for us to start living by a new strategy. And what that means for you may be different than what it means for me. And that's the beautiful thing about all of us getting to be individuals in this world. None of us are the same. And neither should our priorities necessarily be the same. Although I do think that there's some common, there are some important factors there. I'll talk about that on the next video. All right, I think that's enough talking in circles for one video. Be well, and in all things, be you. Live your one most precious life the best way that you know how, right now. And don't worry about yesterday. If you didn't like it, learn the lesson from it and move on. All right, Crew and I are signing out.